Welcome to the Spicy Lady. Ernest Hemingway once wrote, "The world breaks everyone, and afterward, some are strong at the broken places." And there's a quiet, disturbing turning point in every Spicy Lady Sigma's life that no one talks about. Her warmth starts to fade. Not because she wants it to, not because she's bitter or cruel, but because life keeps giving her every single reason to let her softness go. She wasn't born cold. She didn't start off detached, guarded, or empty-hearted. In fact, she once cared too much, loved too deeply, trusted too easily, and gave far more chances than people ever deserved. But the more she lived, the more she learned a brutal universal truth. The world does not reward softness. It exploits it. If you're a Sigma male watching this, you've seen this shift happen. You've watched a strong, independent woman in your life slowly change. You've noticed she's no longer open like she once was, that her kindness now comes with tall walls, that she refuses to play a game that punishes her for being authentic, real, and genuine. Or maybe this hits too close to home. Maybe you are that woman, slowly transforming into someone you never thought you'd become, wondering how you lost the warm, carefree version of yourself. This is not a pity story. This is not about blaming people or playing the victim. This is about seeing reality for exactly what it is and choosing how to move forward smarter, stronger, and safer. Here's the uncomfortable truth. A Spicy Lady Sigma does not become cold because she's weak. She becomes cold because she's intelligent. But is there a way to keep your strength without losing every piece of yourself completely? Watch till the end to find out. Let's dive into the 11 raw reasons Spicy Lady Sigmas slowly become cold-hearted. Point 1. The first betrayal taught her the game. Repeated ones made her master. A Spicy Lady Sigma doesn't walk through life cynical, guarded, or assuming everyone's out to hurt her. If anything, she starts out dangerously open. She gives trust freely, piece by piece, genuinely hoping people will honor it. She believes honesty still matters, that loyalty still holds weight, that good people keep their word. But reality has a cruel way of correcting naive, hopeful beliefs. The first betrayal shatters her core. It doesn't just hurt because someone let her down. It hurts because she realizes she misjudged everything. She replays every ignored red flag, every pushed aside gut feeling, every warning she refused to believe. The betrayal itself is painful, but the self-blame that follows is worse. She questions how she could be so naive, so trusting, so open to someone who'd hurt her. She vows never to let it happen again. She sharpens her instincts, adjusts her boundaries, and grows more careful. Then it happens again. And again. And again. Each time the shock fades. She stops being surprised by deception. She stops giving people the benefit of the doubt. Eventually, she stops getting hurt entirely. Not because she's fully healed, but because she's grown numb to human inconsistency. That a critical shift happens here. She no longer takes betrayal personally. It no longer breaks her. Instead, every lie, every manipulation, every broken promise becomes a case study. She studies patterns, learns human psychology, files away every lesson, and masters the cold, cruel game of human interaction, a game she never wanted to play. But there's a heavy cost. With every betrayal, a piece of her warmth dies. She becomes selective with access to her heart, and even the people she lets in never reach the full depth of her trust again. She finally understands betrayal is never an accident. It's a choice people make when they think they can get away with it. So she adapts, open no more, naive no more, bitter not necessarily, but permanently prepared. Point 2. She's seen endless empty apologies, so she stopped accepting words without action. Once upon a time, she believed in second chances. She believed people made honest mistakes, that genuine remorse led to real change, that an apology meant growth was coming. She used to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, choosing to see the good in people even when their actions proved otherwise. But life taught her a brutal lesson. Most people don't apologize because they regret hurting you. They apologize because they hate facing the consequences of their actions. She's seen it 1,000 times. Someone hurts her, disrespects her, breaks her trust, then spills all the right words. I didn't mean it. I'll do better. I promise it won't happen again. And for a little while, she believes them. Until the same behavior returns, the same disrespect, the same betrayal, the same carelessness. She finally realizes the truth. Their apologies were never about change. They were just a temporary tool to buy time, to lower her guard, to keep her in their life until they're ready to hurt her again. So she stops falling for empty words. She starts looking at patterns, not promises. She observes behavior, not excuses. Now when someone says, "I'm sorry," she doesn't argue, fight, or beg for better. She simply watches. She waits to see if their actions match their words. And 9 times out of 10, they don't. This is why she's colder now, less tolerant, harder to reach. It's not bitterness. It's self-respect. She refuses to keep forgiving people who keep repeating the same mistakes. She no longer tolerates words with zero proof behind them. She doesn't need apologies. She needs consistency, and if people can't give that, their words are just meaningless noise. 3. Her coldness isn't a choice. It's a survival mechanism. People misunderstand spicy Lady Sigmapacy Lady Sigmas completely. They assume she woke up one day and chose to be distant, detached, and unemotional. They think her guarded nature is a personality preference, but nothing could be further from the truth. The world made her this way. She started soft, open, trusting, and loving. She believed in genuine connection, honest bonds, and reciprocal kindness. She thought if she loved freely, gave openly, and cared deeply, she'd receive the same energy in return. Instead, she was betrayed repeatedly. Her kindness was mistaken for weakness. Her generosity was taken for granted. Her open heart was exploited by people who only stuck around for what they could gain from her. Every time she dared to trust again, every time she hoped this person is different, she was reminded why people build walls in the first place. Her coldness is not cruel. It's self-defense. She doesn't want to shut people out, but she's learned keeping the wrong people in her life is far more dangerous than being alone. She doesn't want to be detached, but she's seen what happens when she's too open, too soft, too vulnerable. The saddest part? There's no going back. The endless warmth, blind trust, unlimited patience, and reckless willingness to keep trying have all been burned away by repeated disappointment. That she's not angry. She's not resentful. She's just done. She didn't become cold by choice. She was forged this way by a world that punished her for being soft. Point 4. She watched fakeness when while authenticity lost. Nothing drains a spicy Lady Sigma's soul more than watching the world reward everything she refuses to be. She watches liars charm their way into love, respect, and success. She sees manipulators climb the ladder by faking kindness, saying the right words, and wearing masks to please others. Meanwhile, she chooses honesty, depth, integrity, and authenticity, and gets overlooked, dismissed, sidelined, and even punished for it first. She fights to stay hopeful. She tells herself good people win in the end, that authenticity pays off, that staying true to herself is worth it, but reality keeps proving her wrong. Smooth talkers get promoted while hardworking, genuine people get ignored. Fake friendships thrive while her loyal, sincere bonds get taken for granted. Surface-level charm gets mistaken for substance, while her quiet depth goes unappreciated. She doesn't envy the fakes. She despises the broken system that rewards their shallowness and punishes her truth. Slowly, a shift happens inside her. She refuses to stoop to their level, fake a personality, or manipulate her way to success, but she does withdraw from their empty game. She stops wasting energy proving herself to people who prefer illusions over reality. She stops explaining her depth to people content with surface-level nonsense. While others chase validation and fake perfection, she builds her own world on her own rules. And when their masks inevitably slip, she remains standing, untouched, unaffected, and unshakably real. Point 5. People mistook her kindness for weakness, so she erased that option A spicy Lady Sigma loves and gives deeply. When she shows up for someone, she shows up fully, with her time, energy, support, and genuine care. She never does things halfway. At first. She gives without expecting anything in return, viewing selflessness as strength. She thinks being self-sufficient and generous will protect her from disappointment, but she quickly learns the harsh truth. People take unlimited kindness as an invitation to exploit. She notices the pattern fast. People lean on her strength endlessly, but never offer her support. They come to her with every problem, yet disappear the second she needs help. They assume because she never complains, never breaks, and never begs for help, she feels nothing at all. They treat her endless generosity as an infinite, free resource, as though she makes a ruthless, necessary decision. If kindness only invites exploitation, she will withhold it from everyone who hasn't earned it. She starts saying no without guilt. She cuts off draining calls, toxic interactions, and one-sided relationships. She pulls back from people who only use her for her goodness. And when those people scramble, confused by her sudden distance, she offers no explanation that she's learned the best lesson for ungrateful people isn't words, it's absence. Her kindness was never weakness. It was a choice. And she no longer gives that choice to anyone who doesn't deserve it. Point 6. She loved unconditionally. But every love had an expiration date. A spicy Lady Sigma never loves halfway. When she falls for someone, it's never out of loneliness, boredom, or validation seeking. She loves with full depth, intense loyalty, and complete devotion. She enters every relationship without an exit plan, fully committed to growing and building with the person she chooses. But time and time again, she's let down. People love the idea of her strength, her independence, her calm energy, but they never love the full, human version of her. They admire her confidence until they can't control her. They cherish her depth until things get difficult. They crave her loyalty until it requires effort to reciprocate. Her love is always taken for granted. People assume she'll always be there, steady and unwavering, until the day she finally stops trying. Each heartbreak changes her little by little. She doesn't turn bitter overnight or swear off love completely, but she stops giving her heart away recklessly. She can't love the same way anymore. Too many temporary people have left permanent scars. Too many unkept promises have dulled her hope in genuine, lasting love. Now she's selective, guarded, and careful. She keeps a part of her heart untouchable, even in love. She doesn't explain this shift because the truth is simple. Her heart can no longer afford to be that open, that vulnerable, that trusting ever again. 7. She stopped explaining herself because no one ever listened to understand once she believed in clarity. She thought if she carefully explained her thoughts, her choices, her need for solitude, and her unique perspective, people would finally understand her. She didn't need agreement. She just needed to be seen. So she tried. She broke down her feelings, articulated her boundaries, and justified her choices, hoping to bridge the gap between her quiet world and everyone else's loud, superficial one. But she quickly realized a devastating truth. People don't listen to understand. They listen to respond. They glaze over her words, interrupt her thoughts, cherry-pick her statements to twist them into arguments, and dismiss her truth the second it doesn't fit their narrative. Conversations stopped being connections and became battles. Every explanation was met with defensiveness, dismissal, or a cold indifference that she made a life-altering choice. She stopped explaining herself entirely. She no longer justifies her need for space, defends her quiet lifestyle, or proves why she thinks differently from the crowd. If people don't get her, they simply don't get her, and she no longer cares to change their minds. A piece of her warmth fades with this choice, not out of bitterness, but exhaustion. She's tired of pouring her truth into people who only hear what they want to hear. Now she lets her actions speak for her. Those who truly want to know her will observe, pay attention, and seek to understand. Those who don't will misunderstand, and she finally lets them. Point 8. She outgrows immature drama and empty social validation early on. Every spicy Lady Sigma seeks belonging and simple social harmony. She used to tolerate petty drama, shallow friendships, and meaningless social interactions just to fit in, to feel accepted, and to avoid conflict. She'd overlook immaturity, overlook red flags in friendships, and compromise her peace just to keep people comfortable around her. But as she matures, she realizes a harsh truth. Most social noise is draining, unproductive, and empty. Small talk, petty gossip, fake niceties, and attention-seeking drama add zero value to her life. They only drain her energy, cloud her mindset, and pull her away from her growth. She watches people waste hours chasing likes, empty compliments, and temporary social clout, fighting over meaningless disagreements and performing for others' approval. She once did the same, trying to please everyone, trying to be liked, trying to belong to groups that never valued her true self. Slowly, she outgrows it all. She stops participating in drama, stops entertaining fake people, and stops craving external validation. She no longer wastes time fixing broken connections, pleasing ungrateful people, or proving her worth to superficial crowds. This shift makes her seem cold and aloof to others. People label her arrogant, distant, or too serious simply because she no longer plays their shallow social games. But this isn't coldness. It's maturity that she's learned peace is better than popularity. Solitude is better than fake company. Focused growth is better than empty social validation. Her warmth is now reserved only for genuine, grounded people who match her energy and respect her peace. And everyone else gets nothing but polite, distant neutrality that no one ever asks the spicy Lady Sigma if she's okay. Not because people don't care, but because they assume she's always okay. She's the rock, the problem solver, the calm anchor for everyone around her. She never breaks, never complains, never begs for help. Everyone dumps their pain, their stress, and their problems on her, relying on her strength to hold them up. But no one stops asking, what about her? Even the strongest people grow tired. Even the sturdiest anchors eventually crumble under the endless weight of carrying everyone else's burdens. At first, she pushes through, telling herself the exhaustion is temporary. But it never ends. When she's overwhelmed, people tell her you're strong. You'll figure it out. When she subtly hints at needing support, she's met with radio silence. Slowly, her compassion fades into numbness. She stops freely offering comfort, not because she's cruel, but because she has absolutely nothing left to give. She still listens to people's struggles, but she no longer absorbs them. She still functions perfectly fine in daily life, but she's running on pure autopilot. The soft, feeling, vulnerable part of her has been slowly crushed under the endless burden of being everyone's safe place. And the saddest truth? No one even notices she's changed. Point 10. Forced self-reliance cost her the ability to connect deeply. She never chose extreme independence. It was never a preference. It was survival. Time and time again, she learned that depending on others only leads to disappointment. Promises break. Help comes with hidden conditions. People who swear eternal loyalty vanish the second she truly needs them. She stopped asking for help. She stopped expecting support. She stopped believing anyone but herself would show up when it mattered most. She mastered solving her own problems, carrying her own pain, and saving herself from every downfall. She became her own safety net, her own backup plan, her only reliable support system. While others crumbled under setbacks, she adapted. While everyone else chased validation, she thrived in solitude. But there's a hidden, heavy cost no one talks about. The stronger she became, the harder it was to connect with people. Needing someone started to feel foreign, almost repulsive. Vulnerability became a language she forgot how to speak. Every time someone tried to get close, her survival instincts kicked in, screaming her to pull away and protect herself. People admire her fierce independence, but they don't realize it came at the price of deep, meaningful human connection, that she's not distant because she wants to be. She's distant because life forced her to rely on no one but herself. And now, she no longer knows how to let anyone in. 11. She learned vulnerability without boundaries is just self-sabotage once. She believed full honesty and open vulnerability were the foundations of real connection. She thought if she showed people her true self, her fears, her struggles, her raw emotions, they'd meet her with the same authenticity and care. She was wrong. She learned the hard way that most people don't value vulnerability. Some see it as weakness to exploit. Some treat her deepest struggles as gossip and entertainment. Worst of all, many pretend to care just to collect her truths and use them against her later for their own gain. She kept hoping things would be different, that the next person would honor her openness. But every hope was met with betrayal, manipulation, and exploitation. She adapted wisely. She no longer spills her heart to every stranger or new connection. She watches people, tests their character, and observes their consistency long before revealing her true depth. She locks her deepest emotions away, only granting access to people who've proven their loyalty and respect over time. This isn't coldness. This is wisdom. She finally understands vulnerability without boundaries isn't strength. It's self-sabotage. It's handing someone a loaded gun and foolishly hoping they won't pull the trigger. She still feels deeply, still cares intensely, but she no longer gives her most precious, vulnerable self to people who don't deserve it. Final conclusion. The unseen truth about her coldness. Here's the biggest mistake people make about spicy Lady Sigmapacy Lady Sigmas. They think she wants to be cold, distant, and guarded. They assume she enjoys isolation and emotional detachment. But the truth is, she had no other choice that one wakes up choosing to stop caring, to harden their heart, or to build impenetrable walls. It happens slowly after endless betrayals, repeated disappointments, and countless painful lessons. She didn't want to become this version of herself. She had to become this way just to survive in a world that refuses to protect soft, genuine, loyal people. But remember this, her coldness is not empty. It's selectivity. She hasn't lost her ability to love, care, or connect. She's just far more careful about who gets access to her heart and energy. That if you're a woman who's slowly hardening, don't mistake your guarded heart for weakness. This coldness is the armor you forged to protect yourself when the world failed to keep you safe. But don't let your past trap you in permanent isolation. Being guarded doesn't mean being alone forever. Not everyone is out to use or hurt you. Not every connection is destined for betrayal. Let your instincts guide you. Protect your peace fiercely, but never lock yourself away from the rare, genuine people who deserve you. True Sigma power isn't just knowing when to shut people out. It's mastering the wisdom of knowing who's still worth letting in. If this resonated with you, you're one of the rare, strong gems the world tries to break. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below. Let's build a community of unbroken, awakened Sigma women. Stay wise, stay guarded, stay powerful. God bless you. Cat, hit the thumb up, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment down below to join our spicy Lady Sigma community.